This is Papa Smurf. You're listening to Our Lifestyle, the podcast, with ODB and the mayor.
Yo, it's ODB, Our Lifestyle podcast, and we want to remind you that Bayou Showdown is going down later this year in Slidell, Louisiana at the Harbor Center. That's 100 Harbor Center Boulevard, again in Slidell, Louisiana. Bayou Showdown is November 20th and 21st. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, so get on out and support the scene, including Custom Car Show Productions in conjunction with Mr. Sean Randall. Bayou Showdown, November 20th and 21st, Slidell, Louisiana. Check that hashtag, Bayou Showdown, or Facebook, Bayou Showdown, for more information. Yo, it's Our Lifestyle Podcast, episode 255. I thought of an 80s movie when I thought of 255. It had a robot in it. If Mike was on the podcast this week, we'd see if he knew what that one was. But I do want to
Jay. Hey, Jay, I'm here, Jay. I'm Jay. Jay.
Dude. Did Dizzy give you the dial-in information? Because you know I changed it. Bro, seriously. You know.
Dizzy hooked a brother up. He said, Mike, I can't go another week listening to ODB on there all by himself. You got to get your ass back in the saddle. So I am here in the captain's seat, and I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Dude, if you don't say cat bird seat, I mean, that's the old NASCAR deal, man. I don't know.
Bird seat?
If you're going to be on here, what movie was I thinking about? It was an 80s movie. If you think 55 or 5, okay, think of the number 5, the word 5. 5, and it was an 80s movie that had a robot. I was thinking like 255, and then there was the robot's name was something 5. Do you have any idea what that was?
Okay, before I give my answer, Johnny, tell me how much this is worth. How many points, how many tick marks, because got a lot of tick marks to catch up with. How many tick marks is this worth, and is this going to go on my employee binder?
Don't tick mark Willie me, Johnny. So listen, seriously,
okay, Johnny,
I'm going to give you 5 points.
Number 5 is alive, baby.
Yeah, what's the name of the movie?
Short Circuit.
Man. All right, listen, everyone, we're going to start doing this every week, but I don't have any faith you're going to get 2 in a row next week. So I'm just saying you got to tune in.
Top one up for the good guys. Betting.
Dude, Johnny 255 arriving alive, but in all seriousness, our numbers were on the Our numbers were on the rise. I think we're back on the downfall. Episode 255, you heard at the top, brought to you by Custom Car Show Productions. We always talk about Bayou Showdown. That's one of the last weekends in November. It's actually technically the weekend before Thanksgiving. Come on out to Slidell, Louisiana. Mike will be there, and it's always a great time. Love the coverage. But we also want to thank Corey. We recently heard Corey, and he came on as a title sponsor, and we certainly appreciate that. We just can't say enough about what he's doing out in the West, really trying to unite people, and I think it's pretty awesome. There's really 2 events that he's got going on, but the main one I want to reinforce is Mini Truck Showdown. That's June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're talking 2022, and if you listened to last episode, you know it's going to be huge. Super excited to see what they do. They're coming for the gusto, man. I think is how you say it, and they're really on the rise. Mini Truck Showdown in Las Vegas. It's going to be a evening into a nighttime show. Mini Truck Showdown, 3 words, on Facebook and Instagram. But Mike, dude, I got to welcome you back. I mean, literally, I know like a lot of times when you and I are talking during the week, or if I try to call you, you never answer. You know, you're always talking about contract negotiations and stuff. And like, Mike, dude, for anybody out there, we're a small business. I mean, we're not even really making enough to keep the lights on. Let's be honest, okay? So when you start kind of throwing around that, for me, I'm going to have to start paying you, a 2% increase every year, dude, I don't have it, man. I'm going to be honest. So I thought I changed the number, and I guess you got it.
Yeah, no, I did, and actually that increase is going to be 2.7 because that's my government increase is 2.7. every 17 months or 18 months, I believe is what it is.
You expect me to pay for stamps and pay you a little wage increase, Mike? I mean, come on, dude. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when we signed that contract years ago, I said I want to do it for 6. We're past 6 years now, and now you're trying to get some money out of me, and I just want you to know, dude, like, that wasn't part of the original deal.
Well, I think we can go for another 6, but
I don't know about that.
But if you're ready to call it quits, I'll go ahead and I'll grant you your wish. And but I want you to think long and hard about that, though. Or if it's just you need somebody else in the catbird seat, as you call it, you just let me know that too.
I just don't want my brain to short circuit. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm my mental health.
Yes, mental health is the most important. And I know you're going to take a break here in the next couple weeks, take a long weekend, which you definitely deserve, and you're going to relax and get that mental health right.
Well, I learned from Aaron Rodgers, I mean, you can come back from your mental health and you can have a bad week, at the job, like he did against New Orleans. But then you can come back and you can play against the Lions and you can really rebound. So I'm trying to rebound my mind right now, seriously. A lot going on in there. As you know, Mike, But in all seriousness, episode 255, we are going to take a little bit of a break, and obviously we're still bringing the content. We have a jam-packed episode. There's so much to cover, a lot of cool stuff. We have a good list going still. Good amount of females, definitely a lot of the homies. So we're going to keep plugging away through that list. We have some audio, but this week we're just going to kind of take a quick pause and go through all the other stuff that we want to cover. Now, the episode overview brought to you by Graphics Mafia. We tell you time and time again, if you need stickers, design work, a wrap, they've done windshield banners for me. You can reach out to Graphics Mafia.
A wrap?
A wrap. Yep, that's not a good one. That's not even as good as the Blue Blocker guy. If you want to look up a good throwback, look on YouTube, type in Blue Blocker wrap. He was the guy that had got the blue blockers and he busted a freestyle. But Mike, you're not even on his level, let's be honest. You know what I mean?
All right, now, I'm real fast. Let me tell you what I think, and this shall come to pass. My name is Geek. I put them on as a shocker. Man, I love these blue blockers. Everything is clear. They block out the sun. Oh, yeah, I got to get me some. Everything is groovy now, no bull in my speech. This is what I do up and down Venice Beach. My name is Geek. I'm more than a hip-hopper, and I'll be cheap in my blue blockers, yeah. Now, what I mean, yes, these sunglasses are really, really keen. So there you have it, folks, out there in TV land. Get you some glasses that's sweeping the land. Remember what I said, now I'm a hip-hopper, yeah. Go get you some blue blockers. Nah, just this week. I'll see you later. I got to make some money on the beach.
So, it's just so everyone knows. But Graphics Mafia, GRAPHIX Mafia.com, Instagram, Facebook, and of course also on TikTok. Love what they do. They'll take care of you. Oftentimes, good low shipping prices.
Hey, is that like no homo?
I don't know about that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you said they'll take good care of you, so I just was curious, is that like no homo?
There's no S-word favors in this podcast, you know what I mean? We don't exchange those kind of gifts, you know what I mean? It's not that kind of... I know you're all into those white elephant parties and stuff. I'm not into that stuff, you know what I mean? I don't even know what that means, but... So, one thing that I do want to do, and we did this for a long time, but I do want to pause for this episode and kind of talk about last episode recap, because Mike, let's be honest, he has been... gallivanting so much, and he's got all these other, shows and companies and all the stuff he's doing. We don't often get to talk, get to stop for a moment, and maybe we pick up a new listener and we go, these guys are lunatics. Let's start listening from here on out. But Mike, really quick, dude, 254, you got Ryan from AccuAir. Great guy. Shares it up on Facebook, shares it on Instagram. Thank you, Ryan. 253, dude, next gen mini truckers. What? Dude, 3 young, up-and-coming dudes. You got going back to where, Mike?
Cali.
On 252 with Mr. Solomon, right? That was cool. Dude, Joey from Majestics, man. I mean, bro, so many downloads, so many streams, so many listens, and that was so awesome because Joey's a good dude. lives in this area, kind of the lowrider connection, and then Doug Starbuck on 250. So, I was talking to Tim Davis a couple weeks ago. TD, shout out to the big homie in RA, and he goes, "Yo, Jay," he goes, "you could almost do just an episode just to kind of be like, yo, that fire, that heat, we're still bringing it, right?" So you got 5 in a row right there, Mike. I mean, I don't even think your boy Brady's ever won 5 in a row. You know what I'm saying?
No, he hasn't won 5 in a row, but just remember, he does have 8 rings, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's 7, isn't it? 9. He's went to 9 Super Bowls, 7 rings, something like that.
Hey, I was just checking to see if you were paying attention, homie.
Yeah, but not 5 in a row. I mean, we just had 5 heaters, dude, straight back to back. So I'm not saying I'm on his level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know that. But
absolutely,
we're trying to get there.
You're almost there, Jay. You're
Thank
almost
you.
there.
Thank you.
But dude, like you said, 5 absolute heaters in a row, and AccuAir. I mean, just hats off, man, because those guys, they're bringing the heat, and all this new launch stuff that they got going on is it's incredible. Definitely, you want to check that out.
Yeah, and I tried to edit it out, but Ryan said it so quick. He talked about some show next January. I said, playoffs? I said, that's what I think, January. But he said there's a show, and everybody keeps calling it Daytona. I think it's the Daytona area. But, Mike, I kind of told him, I was like, man, I don't know if you should be saying that. I'm not getting paid from Mike. So, but he said something about there's a show at the end of January, and I don't know if you would know anything about that. But what are the dates again?
Well, actually, he's probably talking about that eastbound get down that's going down at Destination Daytona, January 21st through the 23rd. And my good friend John Lopez will be throwing that show, and I'm really happy for that guy.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, I love John to death. Good dude. I know he doesn't listen. He ain't got time. He's always out on the wrecking ball. But
no, I just wanted to make sure people knew that he was throwing it and nobody else. He's the one that's in charge.
Yeah, and I just want him to know, I've submitted my demands, and I haven't heard back yet. So I don't know if you can maybe put in a good word. I mean, that's playoff time. So, for me to leave this area, hopefully my team's going to be in it. But, I just, if you can, just talk to John for me and just make sure that all my, my demands can be met. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you, just like your quarterback says, relax.
Yeah, RELAX. I know. I remember that. It did work. But the last episode recap, thank you so much to Lone Star Throwdown, one of our key partners. You cannot say, with the amount of people that listen and stream this podcast, it's a lot, it's grown, we're thankful. We cannot say we didn't warn you. LoneStarThrowdown.com, it's that simple. I mean, listen, it's $60. Something happens, you can't go, you can transfer, I think, up to 2/1, which is February 1st. But, dude, February 25th through the 27th in Conroe, it's 11th annual. 1 registration per order, LoneStarThrowdown.com.
Hey, just give them that heads up about Lone Star Throwdown that they're already well over 700 pre-registrations. So, remember, there's only 2,000.
Yeah, I think, and Mike, I'm not ribbing you here. I think they even did they did that bidding the first day. They might even be I think last I heard 75-80% total. So they could be pressing in at 1,600-1,700 already. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, it does not take long. So get them and get them in quick.
100. So scene updates, dude. So I wanted to kind of talk for a few minutes, man, because we don't always get this chance. Maybe 3-4 times a year we'll kind of just pause and maybe not have a guest. And some people are like, man, I ain't listening to these jabronis without a guest. But, dude, we have a lot that we cover, and we certainly appreciate everyone tuning in, even on an episode like this, just to kind of catch our breath. And, Mike, last weekend, it's really hard to tie you down and get you down to, one particular place. But when you mentioned the G word, gallavanting, dude, you made your rounds last weekend. You hit a gentleman's club, let's be honest. And then you were over at Trucks and Cheeseburgers and, that park that I can't say Big John was just recently on. But, dude, seriously, Trucks and Cheeseburgers, man. There were a little bit of cars in there, too. Well, let's not discriminate. We had a damn good time, didn't we?
Well, first of all, I did not make it into that gentleman club, just so we're clear.
Come on, man.
I actually stayed out in the parking lot, and I was definitely went to a lowrider show. Haven't been to a lowrider show in a long time. down in Miami, and that place was fucking packed wall to wall with lowriders everywhere, bro. I mean, we had an awesome time on Saturday, and then yes, we went to Trucks and Cheeseburgers, and hats off to Big John, Big Juice, because man, that place was that is the most trucks, cars, anything you can think of on wheels. It was there. That place was packed, jam full of people.
And someone had reminded me, maybe it was John, that he had moved it from June, I think Vic said, into September, thinking it was going to cool down. But, I mean, dude, everything's warming still, right? I mean, it's just crazy out there. I mean, Florida is 24/7 summer, and, man, it was super hot. I know on Saturday I didn't get a chance to make it over there, but you had, like, Jalopy Joe, you had Chuck Dog, Jalopy's gal, his better half, Christian. Dude, love Christian. She's so awesome. Dude, you had Scott, V6 Scott. It's just an S10. All these guys are gallivanting on over there now. Supposedly Scott withdrew a lot of. I mean, the ATM was wiped out at that place. I don't know. I mean, you were there. I wasn't.
Well, apparently, what had happened is that Scott actually, because he's getting married soon.
Well, we were just kidding. That was a joke.
Well, here's the true story behind it, because he doesn't listen anyway.
Okay.
His wife definitely doesn't listen.
Okay, good.
But what he did is he actually had cash that he'd been saving up that his wife doesn't know about, soon to be wife. He actually went and but he needed more, so he talked to Chucky into taking money out of his account, because his soon to be wife would have found out and would have known that he was in there spending all that money on those single moms, and he was just, all he was trying to do was support those single moms in there in that nightclub that he was in.
Yeah, he's kind of like Smokey. I've seen him, like, he'll have like $5 in his hand, but he has it folded. So when he counts it, he's like 1, 2, 3, and then he's like boom, 7, 9. I'm like, dude, like, that's, I don't know, it's like David Blaine shit. I mean, he's like, well, he had me fooled, but he had the ladies fooled too, man.
Well, you actually owe Mr. Scott an apology, because the poor guy, he has a V8 in his Mazda, and I think you've called it a V6 now.
V4.
I think you've called his Mazda a S10.
Right.
And I don't know if you've gotten what he actually drives right yet. And any of the pictures that you've taken, any of the videos, any of the stuff on Street Trucks, I don't think you've gotten any of that right yet. So I do think that you owe, Mr. V6, Mr. S10 a apology, or at least say what he's got right.
Well, it's a S10 with a Mazda front end, is what I understood. You know what I mean? I'm a hardcore mini trucker, so I know that it has a Phantom grill.
Oh, absolutely.
It has autometer gauges. It has a independent rear end. It has a bumper. I think it has all that on it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, I think you're right. And so I guess he's not going to get that apology, and I guess he's not going to get that, actually what his vehicle actually really is. So with that, if you no longer listen, totally understand. Totally understand.
Yeah. Okay.
But hey, he can actually go and listen to some of those other podcasts, because those other podcasts are much better than ours anyway.
I 100% agree, man. We're just trying to, keep things going. But here's the crazy thing. I pull in at 10:06. I had stayed like 10 minutes away towards where Negative Camper Tom, the big homie, we, my buddy and I, we had stayed in a hotel Sunday morning, boom, 1 mile drive away, get breakfast, and then boom, 10 minutes over to the park. Dude, I get there at 10:06. Not many people there, so I'm like, all right, get a good spot so I can sneak out later and start walking around, go slap hands with Tom, look at the Ford F-100. Dude, I start going, taking photos, and my buddy Blair's there. He's an older guy. He's like a Lincoln mechanic, real good dude. And he's like, no, I'm going to walk. I want to get some exercise. He's like, he just turned 64. I said, Blair, it's real hot. Oh, no, I'll be fine. He always wears jeans, dude. Like, it could be, like, dude, you saw, I mean, I don't know, you probably didn't see him out there, but, like, he had jeans on, dude. That's just what he wears, right? And he's like, damn, I wish I would have brought some shorts. I go, Blair, you don't even own a pair of shorts. I mean, I wouldn't think. So we end up gallivanting around there. Well, I'm doing videos, right? You got Cheetah's Nissan. You got Jamil photobombing. I've got the other Nissan over there with the reverse offset wheels. I'm trying to do some video because Josh Ellis learned me how to do the reels, right? So I love doing those. And, I see Howard's tandem over there, and I'm over there. And, dude, I get to a point, I'm like pouring sweat, and I can take the heat, right? And Mike, I mean, then I see you just kind of gallivant over there with, like, ice-cold water, just kind of, floating around to the camps and stuff. And I just was wondering, like, if your camera fell off your phone or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, there wasn't water in there. It was actually alcohol.
I bet there was the Gentleman's Club leftover.
So that's why I didn't offer you any, because it would have just dehydrated you.
Right.
And that happened, to you. That I definitely didn't want to be responsible, for that. So that's why I didn't offer you anything in the cooler. So yeah, no, that definitely didn't happen. But yeah, no, I did some of those reels that you're talking about, on Saturday. So yeah, I by the time I got there, that place was packed, wall to wall people, tons of people there, and because I had a 3-hour drive to get over there, so it was a little bit longer of a drive for me, but definitely well worth the drive, and it was definitely good seeing everybody. And man, I tell you what, hats off to Big John, and hey, got to give a shout out to his girl, because his girl was over there slinging merch for him, and I was over there taking lessons on what to do and how to do it. As far as I know, they sold out of everything, but keep an eye out, because I do believe they're gonna do another order of those shirts, because she sold out so fast, and everybody was asking for more. So they should be doing more shirts here coming soon.
Yeah, definitely. And to everyone we saw there, a lot of the local homies, Jamil, of course, Dukes, Miami, I think they came up there. Aftermath was there. Saul Schulman, some of the Acro guys, Vic and D, they were there, of course. Slap hands with them. And, Chuck Dog, Jason Redden, the Mini Truckin Encyclopedia, some of the local guys, which I kind of think of local minis. I think of him now. Just a lot of different clubs, man. Just a lot of good people. Floated around a little bit, talked to everyone. And then I had to bolt, man. I mean, I left. I was only there 2.5 hours, and I had this number in my head because, we had several things we needed to do. We accomplished everything. We were able to get out of town. The cheeseburgers were definitely a hit because the line was super long, so I was able to peel out. I actually got home like right at 5 o'clock. And by the time we stopped for fuel, cleaned the love bugs, and got lunch real quick about an hour away, it was just time to rock and roll. So, again, tip of the cap. Thanks so much, John Turner, a.k.a. Big Juice. I can't wait to see what you guys do next year. Mike, I know I did try to link up, and possibly next week we're going to try to get one of the ladies that was at Campfire Shenanigans. Now, I may have mentioned this last episode. I think I briefly touched on it. I did talk to Sabra several weeks back. Just, a cool conversation, riding home from work one day, just, linked up with Sabra, and it was just a great conversation, just, chatting about, hey, the event's coming up, and it didn't even dawn on me, so I need to make sure I add that just so it's on our calendar for next year and we can talk about it. But, Mike and you and I have talked in the past, we love what, she does. It's this event for the ladies. So hopefully next week, if Sabra doesn't want to come on, we've got someone else lined up to talk a little bit about it and not share all the details, but of course just the camaraderie between the ladies, and they do kind of a gift exchange. So that was kind of cool. But I did see, all the ladies got together for that one, and it's pretty awesome, Mike.
Oh, it always is, and it seems like they always have a good turnout as well. So just happy to see that they're out there doing their thing. And like I said, it seems like they keep adding more and more girls that come out to this every single year. Yeah,
you can't deny it, and they just do a fantastic job, so good stuff. A lowdown, so it got to the very end, and I think it was actually with Corey, so I did some audio late with Corey last week from Mini Truck Showdown, and he had mentioned, hey, everyone be safe going to Lowdown in Laughlin, so that's L-O-W down, not to be confused with the Lowdown that was in Alabama. So Seductives, they put together was September 18th. That was pretty cool. I want to say Doug at Aftermath Designs, also known as who, Mike? He did the awards. I always forget his Mike always
his name.
Yeah, it's Doug Johnson. Doug Johnson. I always say Aftermath Designs, but he does have that other brand that's out there for the awards.
And I'm the one that usually corrects you and tells you, and I can't even think of it off the top of my head.
Well, the cool thing is when you go on Instagram, you can still type in Aftermath Designs, and he still has a page. He will still post. Now, it's good timing because I wanted to mention this. He had posted back on September 7th. Unfortunately, he had a slip and fall on September 4th, and he was going through some medical things, right? So I want to wish the homie Doug Johnson, I hope that he's okay, and you can go out there, and if you need to get in contact with him, hopefully he'll be fine, and he can start getting those awards going next year, but just, hit the homie up. I believe he did those. So that show went down, and I did see some photos from there. I also we're going over miscellaneous scene updates right now, and I also saw, as I mentioned, Dave Schulman out at the event. He had the Navigator there, and I've seen some recent photos of his Lightning, and it's really coming together. I know it's over at Fat Fabs. I don't know how the dude juggles as many projects as he does, but I love that, Mike, this guy's a true enthusiast, and it's always fun to see what he's cooking up. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. But hey, I tell you, it's real easy when you got all that cheddar.
Yeah, brother. He's always slanging and slanging some jewels. So big ups to the homie. It was good seeing you, man. He's back on his health kick as well, and that kind of ties into that message that I reinforced. I think it was the last 1 or 2 episodes, and even for me, it's like, hey, get back to walking more, get back to riding the bike, and doing all that stuff. So I love to see it, and I told Dave that last weekend at Trucks and Cheeseburgers. Now, Mike, from a digital standpoint, I did want to mention Mini Truck Matt and Mini Garage. They did also post new content to YouTube. So, we try to plug as much as we can folks in our scene that do great things. If you go on YouTube, type in Mini Truck Matt, 3 words, and you'll see he's got about 230 some odd subscribers, about 17 videos, and he just did Madness in the Mountains. Love his videos. Oftentimes they're not too long, 4 to 5 to 8 minutes, and just really good content, keeps it going, good selection of music. So that's out there. Big ups to Matt. And then a Mini Garage, 2 words, you'll see that comes up. And they got about 1.75K subscribers, 63 videos. And if I look at his channel, they did the Reawakening coverage. And I know he had a challenge with some of his equipment. Something happened. But big ups to Jeff, tip of the cap. Mike, it's always awesome seeing that free content out there. These guys are true enthusiasts.
Oh, absolutely. And I can't wait to see this project get done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, I want to also plug this other channel. We had put up, so we'll do a quick plug. I had put up a video. I spent a good amount of time. It's about 10 minutes of C10 Intervention, the pre-cruise and show shenanigans, kind of just a 10-minute kind of prequel. For whatever reason, I got to the very end and I exported it, and the sound was a little wonky. So please forgive me on that video, C10 Intervention pre-cruise / show shenanigans. That video, again, I don't know what it was. If it just was the export, I tried fixing it. Audio was a little crazy, so it was a little bit high in places that it was normal on the actual video, and then it was low in other areas. So I'm hoping that next piece that I do there, that it'll be better. So I'll try to fix that. But, dude, here's a channel, Hardcore Garage, okay? And he's got about almost 4,000 subscribers. This dude, he's a mini trucker. He loves square body S10s, okay? Hardcore Garage. He watches our videos. He'll comment. He'll like. But, Mike, listen, for any mini trucker out there, you will not believe how clean he just picked up. This is his video. Did I just pick up the cleanest, low-mileage 1991 GMC Sonoma ST on the planet? Question mark. That's the longest title ever, but I love it, Mike. And I watched this video. Dude, truly an amazing truck, man. And this guy is a fiend. I think he's got like 6 or 7 S dimes, dude.
Damn. So was it really the cleanest?
If you ask me, there's not a doubt in my mind, dude. I'm not even going to tell you how many miles are on it. It's like insane, dude. It really is, man. And he's just a good dude. His videos aren't over the top. He does really good stuff. He'll sometimes sit in the truck and he'll talk to the camera. He just does a good job, man. He really does. Really well spoken. And dude, tip of the cap to the homie, man. I really, really love watching his videos. And he's got like 1,000 views on a lot of them, 500 views, 773. That type of deal. So it's not an over the top channel, but I tell you what, I love the content just as much as any other channel I watch. And I was saying a lot because, dude, the homie's videos are better than ours, Mike. You know what I'm saying? He's a good peeps.
Well, now that you just mentioned it on Our Lifestyle, the podcast, he's going to have 1,001, brother. Count on.
Maybe 51. Come on, Mike. I mean, dude, if we go up from 25 listeners to 50, that's 100% increase, right?
Oh, 10-4. No, you're correct.
Right.
You are correct. Did you just see what I just sent you, sir?
No, I don't know.
All right, I just texted you.
Oh, Creative House. KRE.
That's our boy, Doug.
8IVE. Yeah, dude, it's the craziest name. Creative House, you know what I'm saying? KRE 8IVE, but yeah, check them out. Okay, from a print standpoint, the new street trucks did arrive. I alluded to it last week. That has the severed Georgia truck, but there's connections to the West Coast. There's connections with it to IF Customs, and then there's connections to one of the homies that actually passed away. When we posted that on Street Trucks social media, we made sure to nod to the previous owner that sold the truck because of his illness and things like that. So, those are the important things for me as a truck enthusiast, as a enthusiast of the scene. So, it's great to be able to help Street Trucks with that social media, and I'm honored to do that. But we will talk more about that issue next week. We'll give it a little bit of time to soak and actually get into the mailboxes. My 2 issues come a little bit earlier, and then, of course, I'll have my subscription issue come. So it kind of gives me a gauge on when I'll expect it. But congrats, and we'll talk more about that. That was from the print side. I kind of wrapped up the digital piece. And I did see a couple things on Facebook, Mike, but, of course, it's hard to get a word in edgewise with me. Anything you want to cover, Mike? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you don't always get the opportunity.
Well, the one thing that I did want to cover for sure, wanted to make sure to let the whole Airhead Nation know, and because there have been tons and when I'm not exaggerating here, guys, this is for real, because you're probably one of them if you're listening, asking skate decks. I need to get a skate deck, and I'm not always at a show. Guys, how come you just won't mail me those metal signs that you guys have? Those things are so badass, and I want one, and I'm not at the same show that you're at. Well, guess what, guys? Here coming real soon, we are going to start sending out and mailing skate decks and the small metal signs.
Dude, our lifestylepodcast.com, it's that simple. And we do have some of the remaining mini Truckin. It's in our DNA. Anything extra will be up by the time that you hear this. Order was submitted to Graphic Disorder. Once that order ships to us in a few weeks, we'll email everyone to kind of give you that update. And then, of course, once it ships out from Biggity Mike the Mayor and Mrs. Mayor, you'll receive a tracking number. So get out there if you haven't already. Cop the new DNA stuff. And then also you'll be able to hopefully snag a skate deck and aluminium sign.
Yes, and like I said, those will be up soon as well, so just be on the lookout for those. And definitely want to give a shout out to our boy Joey at Get Decked for making those bass skate decks for us. And if you guys are interested, you want to put your truck on a skate deck, you want to put your club logo, you want to put your business on a skate deck, just hit up Joey over at Get Decked, and he'll take good care of you.
Yeah, if you've got great artwork, it makes it just pop. And as we said in the past, you can hang it on the wall, stick it on a mantle, you name it. Okay, so Mike, here's a couple key updates, and I want, scene updates, just general stuff. Eric Folber Great, just a great homie in the scene of ours. Negative Camber, tip of the cap. Want to get him on. We've talked about it. Man, just an awesome region of the country there where they live, up in kind of the Baltimore, Maryland, all those different guys. But Eric Folber, he has his chassis, rolling chassis. I think this one's his. Dude, it looks so good. See the brewski in there on the cab mount. Awesome, clean work. Just a lot of cool stuff. So really excited to see what he does. Again, thank you to Ryan at AccuAir for sharing the post that we made about episode 254. If you haven't, go back and please listen to that. Damian Davis, I'd love to have him on. We did a video years ago at Relaxin' in the Park St. Louis of his crew cab. Of course, he's redoing it, and I think these parts are for that truck. And Damian Davis, he helps All Time Low magazine so much. Really want to link back up with the homie in the near future. So he posted a cool update of this rebuild of his truck. Never easy is the hashtag. And then, dude, one of our great supporters always comments on our photos. I'm going to mess up his name. It's like Daisuke. Daisuke? I think I'm saying that right. He has one of the most amazing Mazda pickups. It's down to the chassis. They were taking some photos recently when he was sitting on it like he was driving it, and they were pushing him around. He is part of Lookin', Lookin. Many of you probably follow him if you're into mini trucks as much as we are. He's on Instagram. He, of course, is on Facebook. Last name's Nakajima, Mike, so I'm not even going to butcher that one, okay? But tip of the cap to the homie.
No doubt.
And that's the cool stuff, Mike. You know, the scene updates, it is a big part of what we do. Now, granted, Mike and I can't see everything, but we would ask if you do have something. I know it's sometimes easy to send on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, but there's so much stuff. Ronnie said this years ago, you know, you get all these messages, you get people that respond to the stories, and then you get the spam. I love when you get the spam. You get like a girl that's got 5 friends. None of them are in common with you, but she wants to be my friend, Mike. I mean, I get lots of those, so I feel special, you know. But, you know, we got those in the mix. So, you know, sometimes people want to just flip it to us on Instagram and stuff, and it's just you go in there and there's a lot of messages. We thank you guys for that. But if you do have something coming up, or you're like, hey, guys, I'm going to be debuting this, would love for you guys to share it, but don't share it until like around this date. Just email us, ourlifestylepodcast@gmail.com, or tap the link in our Instagram bio. That'll flip you right into the email to email us, and shoot it over, Mike, because we love hearing from everyone, and there's just so much out there.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, something else that I wanted to bring up real quick, Jay, was our OLP Airhead Nation Fantasy Football League. I know that's not for everybody.
Oh, Lord.
I know it's not for everybody, but I just want to give a shout out to our newest member this year, Custom Scene Neck Breaker, I believe is what his Neck Breakers. And that's our boy Glenn. He's actually right now in first place, and he is 2-0. Not saying it's going to last very long, but he is in first place. And I definitely want to give another shout out to our, because we have 2 teams right now. This is how close this league is this year. We only have 2 teams that are 2-0. Now, granted, it's only after 2 weeks, but all luck, no skill. Any idea who that would be there, Jay?
It's got to be Jeremy from Made of Steel.
Oh God, no! He sucks. He's horrible. No, this is no luck, no skill. Our boy Brad, Big Brown.
Oh, dude, that's the big homie. Where's he been, man? Dude, I love when Brad, when you text and go, "Yo, man, you got to switch it up." Man, dude, he's a good dude.
Yep, he's also 2-0, and those are the only 2 teams right now that are 2-0. And I'll give some updates and talk some shit. But yeah, actually, this right now, Jeremy is right. Jeremy Made of Steel. He is GOAT, whatever you want to call him. He is in the middle of the pack right now. And it's still a little early in the year, but he'll be back down there at the bottom, and it won't be long before he'll be back in last place. And just letting you know, our boy Ron is in 8th place right now, and I actually play Ron this weekend. So Ron, get ready, brother. You're going down. I hate to say it, but just going back to Brad real quick, his thing is all luck, no skill. Yeah, Bubba, you're pretty lucky to be 2-0 right now because you've only scored 269 total points. So, yes, that is pretty lucky. So, but Jay, that's my update for this week, and we'll get on that some more next week.
Well, speaking of Jeremy, that's behind, part of the team behind Made of Steel, one of our favorite shows. It's every May, right? So we're going to talk more about that show as we, get sideways into 2022. But Mike, I need to know an official ruling, right? Because Goat's been on the down low a little bit. I know him and Rigo and some of the guys are going to team up, and they're going to do this good thing. From my understanding, is it going to be around December, right? It's some sort of tour drive. Okay,
Yeah.
Are they coming off the top ropes with that, or has that already went down like in a blaze of glory? Hopefully it's on, right?
Okay, well, they are definitely coming off the top of the Hell in the Cell cage match.
Okay.
And they actually have the ladders. I'm sorry, they actually have the tables with the ladders stacked on top of them, on top of the cage.
And we're talking
because
now.
they are, yes, and yes, it is a go. We are good to go. We are going to be setting up. OLP will be there, and it's not the Toy Drive, it's the Toy Drop Car and Truck Show. And it is going down December 4th there in Orlando, Florida. So if you guys want to get the hell out of the cold and come down to Orlando, Florida for a good time and for a good cause, Toy Drop, December 4th there in Orlando, Florida. The name of the place is like this place they're having the car show is unbelievable. I can't even remember the name of it, Jay.
Oh, I can tell you. Dude, it's okay. I can't say it in Carney though. Am I going to lose points? Because it kind of has, so it already has the is in there. It has it's Deezerland. Deezerland Park. So I can't Deezerland and Briz other Piz are kind of like I don't know. That's not a good one. Deezerland lazy.
Knew it was coming.
I got to get Paul, my homie, dude. He could talk so. I'm like Paul. Like you could go to like Yale, right? And imagine like if they had Carney on the the curriculum, you know what I'm saying? And like you could make money teaching this stuff, but I'm not that good at it. But yeah, Deezerland, and here's how I found out about Deezerland. I know Schulman had went there. He did a video, I think it was. But Adam the Woo, okay? Remember that night we were on the phone one time, Mike, and I was busting out laughing, and I was telling you like how he goes and does all the movie site locations, and he had the Jason Freddy Krueger mask on deal. Well, he lives part-time in Florida, part-time in Cali, so about 50-50. He went to Deezerland when they first opened, and they have like the Inspector Gadget Lincoln there. That's kind of a hodgepodge, 60s Lincolns. They have all kinds. It's like a family kind of adventure place, right? I mean, it's a museum, but they have so much more going on there. But on Facebook, if you type in forwards Toy Drop Auto Show, that's where you're going to see the flyers and stuff. So, like, I'm super stoked. He's talking maybe a little bit of a VIP type party. And I don't know that it's going to be paid, right? But there's just going to be a VIP experience that we want to talk about. But, dude, to be able to go out to that spot, man, I'm telling you, man, that's a great time of year in Florida, as you know, Mike. I'm excited about it. So, to Rigo, repping Acro, and then, of course, Tank and of course, Jeremy from Made of Steel. I think they're the ones in cahoots, and if it's more, we'll find out. We'll make sure we get all the names out. But big ups to the homies.
Oh, absolutely, and dude, I mean, you can't go wrong. You got the arcade there. You got the the indoor go karts. You got the bowling alley.
Cigarette
you
machines,
got the bar.
Right?
I mean, you can't go wrong. Alcohol. I mean, cigarette machines. Absolutely, bro. You come get your Marlboros and your Copenhagen. And get you a Bush beer. I mean, you're good to go. Good to go.
I'm not gonna lie. When I read that whole story recently about how the Marlboro, that little ranch that they had that you could win, because I had all the points, dude. I had the bag, I had all that, and dude, you could win the deal. And I had a feeling I was gonna win, and then they canceled it because now they're selling that ranch, and I'm like, dude, I wanted to go, man. There's a whole story out there about it, And I mean, imagine if you. I mean, that's like the Super Bowl of stuff. You know what I mean?
Was that the Cowboy Ranch you're referring to?
Yep, up in like Wyoming, dude, man. Yep. I mean, bro. I mean, that's what. Seriously, I wanted to win that, but fortunately, it never happened. But in all seriousness, scene updates brought to you by Garage Gear Clothing. The holidays are coming. You're thinking about for your man or your woe man what to buy. Look no further, garagegearclothing.com. Free shipping in the United States. I think it's the continental United States to be technical. And they are such good people. They've got the ladies. And Mike, you actually just shared the new stuff in the Airhead Nation Facebook group. When I went to their website the other day, I thought it had been hacked in a good way because, dude, the whole front page was all the new lady shirts.
Yes, they have tons of them. So they are definitely looking out for the ladies. So, ladies, if you need some new gear, need some new threads for the for going out to the show or going out to the bar, going out to the beach, make sure you guys hit them up because they definitely got you girls covered. Yeah,
I could see Lonnie just, he's looking away, and then he turns to the camera and he goes, "Hello, ladies," and it just cuts right into the new gear, and then Crystal comes off the top ropes and does like what do you do when you put your legs around the neck and like you just like go flipping around and stuff, like, and then she just takes them down, and then it's an all Cage and the Mage deal. How do you say it?
We need DJ Mays on for that. Actually, that wrestling talk. But, the figure 4 leg lock, I think, is probably something that, I could see Lonnie getting somebody in, but...
Yeah, Lonnie's good people.
Yeah, no, and then I see, Crystal probably, doing the suplex.
Right. She don't play. I saw a guy try to steal something at Lone Star. Dude, I think she did the suplex. She said...
was that the power driver? I thought she did the power driver to that guy.
I think it was, and she said, look, if you want to steal anything, go on garagegearclothing.com, and you can steal the shipping all day, because there's no shipping, you know what I mean? But she knows how to work the crowd, you know what I mean? She does the ear deal, where she puts her hand up, like, can you hear what what Crystal's cooking? And
Yep. And then, it doesn't matter what you think. Yeah, no, I agree.
And then Maze comes in with a, woo! Or was that Frank the Tank? But,
Frank the Tank, yep.
All right, so next we got the key show update. So we've talked a lot about shows, and obviously as we start to get into Q4, in September rolling into October, basically the shows start to kind of, dwindle down a little bit. You can go to ourlifestylepodcast.com on your phone or computer. On the left side, you can tap on official OLP digital show calendar. When you go there, you want to click on the middle of the screen where it says click here. That's the only way to really disseminate out this iCal. And iCal works on iPhone or Android. And when you subscribe to that calendar, all of these dates will be in there. Now, I did get the official word from Street Trucks. Del Mar, we're not going to be able to make it out there. Based upon some logistics, it's not going to happen. So I was excited to go down to Southern Cal first week in October. That's not going to happen. Of course, right after that, you're going to have Slam Fest. I would encourage everyone, Jonathan and team, and I am going to try to link up with Jonathan to see if we can put a couple words in this one. But, dude, minimadness.com, please pre-register. By the time you listen to this, you're going to have less than a week to lock in and save basically $20, right? So that $20 equates to pretty much a free show shirt. The 24th is technically this Friday if you're listening day one, and then you're going to have less than a week because the following Friday is October 1st. So basically, if you're listening Friday or Saturday, just know that you have until next Thursday, the 30th, to go to minimadness.com and pre-registrate for SlamFest 30. Hashtag, don't even get into all the crazy hashtags. It's just one SlamFest 30. It's going to be crazy, I heard.
Well, hey, Jay, if you don't want to buy a show shirt, get one of those tickets for that free truck giveaway.
Yes, the free truck giveaway. I think they're $25, okay? And if you win it, I get it. Dude, it's going to be crazy. Okay, please donate to me.
If you're only saving the $5. I mean, you're saving the $20. Jay will give you the additional $5 if you don't have it. So just DJ, and he'll give you the additional $5 to get that ticket. Because remember, guys, it only takes one ticket to win.
Dude, exactly, bro. And I asked him if I could pick it out of there. You know what I mean?
But I thought you might have asked him if you could borrow
the truck,
that free giveaway truck. Have you seen any updated pics of it yet, Jay?
Dude, from what I heard, it is on the lowdown. So I'm excited about it. You know, Jonathan's been running over there on the Mini Madness Instagram and stuff. So I'm waiting. I'm itching. You know, it's getting closer, and I can't wait to see it. I just know Preston's going to be 16 next month in October. So if we can win it, that's his first truck, dude. And they said, look, we were going to have you pick it, but they said if you win it, it wouldn't look good. And I was like, yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that you should let Preston pick it, and then he wins it, but then you can take it.
You remember the famous pine tar baseball game? I mean, they said that, you know, we're going to have to check everyone's hands for pine tar and tape and scotch tape and all that stuff. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm just saying. I mean, you know the pine tar game.
Oh, yeah. Well, you should take that truck, and then you should give Bada Bing to Preston.
I don't know about that. But the pine tar baseball game, watch out, you know what I mean? So, on top of that, basically what you got is Laying at the Lake is the 11th and 12th of November. Bayou Showdown is the 19th and 21st. Now, of course, we talked about December. There's going to be that event, which I think is going to be on fire here in the Tampa Bay area. Well, the Central Florida area. It's going to be great over at Deezerland. You know, we'll get into, as we get closer, we'll get into the January, February, March. There's a lot of stuff going on in the state of Florida, including Mike's show that he talked about earlier, so I'm excited about that. And, also, if you go on Hammered, HAMMERD, weekendwear.com, you can go under the 2021 World Tour. Now, granted, he did have to change some of this, but this is where I can go and look at some of the dates. So I want to throw out there, you have Last Resort, so that's October 22nd through the 24th. That's in Jennings, Louisiana. We talked about Laying at the Lake in Grapeland, Texas. And then Turkey Drag, I think that's in Lone Oak, Texas. That's 12/3 to 12/5. So, you know, a lot of dates. A lot of these are on the official show calendar, ourlifestylepodcast.com. Click on the left menu, official OLP calendar, and subscribe. Key show updates brought to you by the West Coast Influence. Just go to minitruckfilm.com and you can purchase that Blu-ray or DVD film. Mike, the podcast updates, really, dude, key stuff. You kind of shared earlier with our new venture into more products on our website. But, Mike, we did submit our order to Graphic Disorder. The pre-order ran basically just over a week. That allowed for people to have payday and all that stuff. And, Mike, I'm just going to throw it out there and say it was one of our top sellers ever. So to Brooke, to Karen, to all of RA worldwide, and to all of the supporters out there that took a minute to go out there and order the mini Truckin, it's in our DNA. We greatly appreciate them.
Absolutely. And, hey, like they say, you know, girls rule the world, because tell you what, you guys ran out there and definitely put those orders in to get that all-girl shirt. And we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And then the other podcast update that we always like to share is, many of you are on an iPhone. Go to the pre-installed podcast app, the purple Apple podcast app, and search OLP. Of course, you're already subscribed, but go down to library and scroll down, really far down after you select OLP, and you can leave a rating, 5-star hopefully, and then you can type a review. And there's a lot of reviews that we have in, almost 250. And we certainly appreciate it. It helps us out. It helps the algorithms, all the referrals to other people that may enjoy the show. So check that out. Podcast updates brought to you, as we mentioned earlier, Joey at Get Decked. If you have a photo or some artwork that you want to put on a skate deck, reach out to Joey on Facebook or Instagram. Just type in Get Decked. You'll see Joey Dilworth's name. Send him a DM. Of course, it goes down in the DM, and he will take care of you. Airhead Nation updates, Mike. Dude, a couple things. One, I want to thank Roxy. They're just great people. They ordered some of the OLP merch, and it was Back to the Future, so we certainly appreciate, we spent some time with them at Orange Beach Invasion, her and her great husband. We also spent some time with them at Sparks in the Park. I did this past April. And hard-pressed to find some better, good family kinfolk. And certainly appreciate them, spending some money, some of their hard-earned money there. Best version of _Roxy, and of course, her awesome family. So, always love hanging out with them. Simmons Paint as well is her man. The other things that I saw, Mike, out there, 255 for this episode. So I'll kind of go through these. I saw Ed Eister. His son was 19, so happy born day. Dude, that's a huge accomplishment. Ed is one of our biggest supporters, and we thank him. I also saw out there, Mike, Brandon Carroll with Kim Carroll. Happy anniversary, sweetheart. 5 years ago, I sent you a message on Facebook, and it changed my life forever. Big ups. Great supporters. Love seeing them at shows like The Spark Show. Mike, this one hit me tough, man. I hope that the big homie's going to be okay. Rick Cruisenberry, we saw him in Orange Beach Invasion. Man, he gives the best bear hugs. Real good dude. He was in the hospital. I think he had COVID is what he posted on Facebook. And literally, man, listen, dude, get well. Hardcore mini trucker, been through a lot, especially losing his significant other years ago, and certainly appreciate his support and, his dedication to the scene.
Absolutely.
Ben Smith, his amazing S10, dude. Best of show, male ride today, trophy with the boys. Riley and Crystal coming off the top ropes. Dude, this guy, no stranger to pulling an award, that's for sure.
Trophy chaser.
I know, right? Joe Bernardo, 25 years, half of his life at one company, RA, West Coast. Big ups to the big homie Joe. He, of course, had Joe Millionaire for a long time, and if the rumors are true, he might be trying to get back into a mini. Can't wait to see it. Chris Schmidt says, happy born day to my best friend and amazing wife. Couldn't imagine life without you. Chris, of course, recently came on, and we're coming up on the anniversary of the day. If the date is correct, the date that his Sonoma was shot for the cover of Mini Truckin'. Of course, some of those photos also appeared in Street Trucks, which kind of talked about that connection when we had him on, and we will be posting those, Mike. You know how I do, man. They just pop in my head, the certain dates, and I appreciate Schulman. He gave a shout-out one day. I think it was around the time that we talked about the 20th anniversary of Crew Cut giveaway, and he goes, I don't know how you do it, man, with the dates, but he goes, it's pretty cool. So thanks to Dave and just his awesome family. They're always just, they've just grown into just being, these awesome supporters of so much around here. And not that they weren't in the past, but, they're able to do so much now with everything they got going on. So we certainly appreciate them.
Oh, absolutely. It's a family affair. That's for damn sure.
Yo, you know it. So Airhead Nation updates brought to you by Hammered Weekend Wear. We tell you time and time again, it's HAMMERD, weekendwear.com. Here's the cool thing. Around the month of December, they're going to open up their, what I'm calling, open enrollment for the 2022 t-shirt subscription. Certainly looking forward to it, Mike. It's going to be amazing, and you can go out there now and order shirts like More Than You Can Afford, Pal. I'm growing up on Mini Truckin'. Catch Me If You Can, a nod to Dave Schulman's Catch 22, and so much more. Show some love to the big homie, Riggedy Ron, and of course Hank. And you can hit them up for some embroidery needs. I know, Mike, you recently did that as well.
Absolutely, because Mo Stitchin, Mr. Ron Perkins, another little under his umbrella there. So just hit him up for all your embroidery needs, and he'll take real good care of you. Does great job, killer work.
Yeah, Real Deal Holyfield. So, Mike, what I'll do is I am going to try to link up with Jonathan Hawkins. If we do, we'll roll his audio. I have some ODB updates. I mean, kind of some fun stuff that I love that I'll just hit on because, again, it's a little bit shorter of a show. Talk a little bit about some music updates. Mongoose has got some big news, so I'll hit on that. Of course, Karate Kid, which is what we all call it, but it's Cobra Kai, new season coming. Rad is going to be coming back to the movies. I can't believe it. Looking forward to that. But, Mike, dude, I mean, we've blown through a lot of updates, man. I know you're probably getting hungry. I mean, what else you got, bro?
Bro, I'm always hungry. But no, I just want to say, hey, it's great to be back. And hopefully we can make it, not out doing that G word. And I'm back on here again with you next week.
Well, again, the questions, let me be honest, the questions are going to get tougher. I mean, on these quizzes, you know what I mean? So really what we want is we want everyone to tune in to see if Mike's going to be able to get them, because, Mike, I can't keep throwing, what do they call it, throwing underhand deals. You know what I mean?
I thought maybe I thought you were about to bust out with a reach around or something. I was like, damn. Wow. I like where you're going with this.
I mean, we're a family podcast, but I mean, you are a sick SOB. You know what I mean?
Hey,
even Chuck said it.
Coming. Hey, Don't forget, Smut Fest coming next year.
Dude, taking the world by storm, man. I'm trying to get. I mean, I don't want to mention some of the names because then it's gonna, out me as like some dirty, filthy animal, which I'm not.
Well, save it for later podcasts.
Okay, yeah, because I'm working some angles to try to get some out there. You know what I mean?
Some single moms out there. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, I do want to, I want to say this. I mean, dude, straight up and down, lowest common denominator, LCD podcast, they have already said, dude, flag in the ground. They said if Smutfest happens, we are dude, they literally said they're taking the week off. Okay, they said we're coming down 6-7 days early, dude. You know what I mean?
What?
They want to be in the mix of action, and I don't blame them.
Hey, I can almost guarantee you if that was the case, then Custom Scene, our boy Glenn, and the biggity boss up there, Rochelle, is going to be down there at Smutfest as well. But you know what?
You know who really is going to be down there? Have you heard of that podcast in the Pacific Northwest?
Fill me in, Jay. Which one are we referring to?
The David Koresh one, the Colt one?
The Colt one, the David Koresh. Yes, I love it. Love it.
He would be at Smutfest, right? I mean, he's kind of in. He roams in those circles, doesn't he?
He actually contacted us and wants to be the title sponsor for the Smut.
My brother.
He will bring all the smuts we need to Smut.
Well, that
guaranteed.
We're talking about Jamie, of course. Jamie, the anti-social mini trucker. But I mean, when we talk about Smut, we're talking about like Sparks, right? Because we're talking about bringing back like dragging the trucks. Is that what? That's what you mean, right?
Oh, absolutely. What was you talking about?
Oh, I'm just making sure we're on the same page because someone was telling me that word could have been construed as like a bad thing. And I was like, no, we're talking about dragging trucks. Like, remember when Oliver, tip of the cap to Oliver with Domination Video, they brung in all of that awesomeness, right? All the sparks on the highways and stuff. So that's what we meant. I mean, we're talking like dragging.
Oh, yeah. Domination. Domination Video. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, real deal. So,
well, and we might even have a little preview of Smutfest at Eastbound Get Down come January 21st, 23rd, 2022, Destination Daytona, Ormond Beach. Be there.
Top Rope
Pre-registration open right now. eastboundgetdown.com. Check it out.
Give me a Top Rope Willie, dude, to send us out.
Hey, Airhead Nation. We
coming off the top rope.
Hey, I told you we were coming off the top of the Hell of the Cell.
You had me beat. I'll throw in the towel. We at you.
Hey, absolutely, we at you.
All right, stay tuned if you guys can even handle anymore. Have a safe weekend, everyone. We'll hit you next week with 256, and don't forget. 255, Johnny 5. Johnny 5's alive. My God.
Live!
We got you. Peace. Yo, and as I mentioned, would like to remind everyone that Slamfest 30, yes, the 30th anniversary of the famed Slamfest is going down this year in October in sunny Tampa, Florida. Come on down the 9th and 10th of October. Make those plans now. Always beautiful weather, knock on wood, in October, and it's the 30th anniversary for Slamfest. You can check the hashtag Slamfest30 for more, or just search Slamfest on Facebook. Pre-registration is still happening. You can save $20, and that $20 is like getting a free show shirt. Go out there today, Slamfest on Facebook. Yo, so man, we just had a freaking blast there, Mike and I chopping it up, and we're trying to just get back into the rhythm really as we press forward into the fourth quarter of the year. it was cool to just link up, and hopefully you guys will appreciate an episode like this here and there where we just kind of kick back a little bit and kind of cut up and just get down and have a good time. Now, in the past, I've shared kind of, just different stuff that I like. I'm going to start calling it ODB's Corner anytime I go over this stuff. I kind of did a couple of YouTube videos with that same theme, ODB's Corner, because in the corner of my metal building, I have kind of this man cave area, and it's just stuff that I love, right? Cassette tapes, CDs, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I want to just remind everyone that you can subscribe to All Time Low magazine. You can also buy individual issues. Please go to atlmagazine.com. It's for the scene, by the scene. There's a lot of folks east to west that are contributors to this awesome magazine, and we can't thank Rich and Beth enough for what they do. Get out there, atlmagazine.com. But here's just a few things, right? I bullet pointed some stuff. So recently, you guys know if you follow me on my personal Instagram, it's at BD94S10, which stands for Body Drop 94S10. You know that I love hip-hop. Really, I love all music, most music, rather, including, Tom Petty, classic rock and roll, hair band stuff, but love hip-hop. And we just, unfortunately, celebrated the 25th anniversary of Tupac's shooting and then his death about a week later. And it's crazy to me because I remember in 96 when it happened, and you kind of think like, wow, what's going to happen in hip-hop? And, of course, hip-hop continues on. Biggie's killed, give or take about 6 months later, which is insane. But it's when you start getting older, like we all are, and you're like, damn, that was 25 years ago in 96. It really does kind of put the line in the sand to show you how fast time is going. But there's been tons of YouTube videos. There's been tons of, posthumous, music that's come out. There's been tons of different documentaries and stuff. There was even a new documentary. I think it's only over in England, and it's called Last Man Standing. What I would suggest is if you like Tupac, like I do, on Instagram, there's a fan page. It's the #1 official Tupac fan page, and it's Tupac, #2 PAC Unlimited. And they had mentioned that Last Man Standing, Suge Knight, and the murders of B.I.G. and Tupac, that is out in the United Kingdom. So, again, there's so much stuff out there. There's a lot of YouTube videos I've watched. I mean, they pretty much know who killed them, but it's still intriguing to a lot of people based upon, how Death Row was being run at that time and the connections to some of the, the law enforcement, some of the dirty cops, some of this. And, again, Biggie was killed just, 6 months or so later at the leaving the Peterson Museum, I think it was, at the Vibe Music Awards. So just crazy stuff. The one thing that blows my mind about Tupac is there's so much unreleased music even still. Johnny J, who was one of his favorite producers, rest in peace, he had went to prison for something I don't even think he really should have went to prison for. Went to prison, and then he supposedly committed suicide, and that had, all kinds of, things around it that was like he wouldn't have done that. But anyways, Johnny J produced a lot of music for Tupac, and there's apparently like still 30, 40, 50 unreleased tracks. Who knows if it'll ever be released? And oftentimes people are like, well, why is it unreleased? Well, a lot of it had to do with Tupac's mom had to fight for the rights to, not to party, but to obtain the rights to a lot of the music, based upon, trying to legally obtain it from, Death Row and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff behind it, but maybe one day we'll even have more Tupac music. It blows me away. There's still stuff that I'll hear on a weekly basis or monthly basis that it's like, man, I've never even heard that verse before. So it's pretty awesome. But again, 25 years ago, Tupac shot and killed, of course, in Las Vegas. I've been to that corner of Flamingo and Caval when I went out to SEMA in 2015 or 2016. My wife and I drove over there and checked it out, but definitely crazy how time flies. If you love music, Fugees they announced they're going to have a reunion tour. They had the huge success with the Score album. Came out, I think, in 96. And they, like so many bands and stuff, just kind of went their separate ways, had their individual careers, and the rest is history. But the Score, if you ever listen to hip-hop music, you know that's one of the great hip-hop albums out there. And if I Google the Score Fugees, that came out on February 13th, 96, so 25th, I think it was the year this year. But just this week they announced they're going to reunite for the 25th anniversary tour, so pretty cool stuff there. Now, speaking of reunions, Guns N' Roses, all those years they were apart, and I think they probably lost out on a lot of money. I mean, we know they did because they weren't touring. Axl was going through all that crazy stuff, and it was like, dude, trying to put out this album, Chinese Democracy, there's a whole big thing about how that leaked, and it's like the most expensive album of all time because it took them 20 some odd years to put out, blah, blah, blah. But I follow Guns N' Roses on Instagram, and it's pretty cool to see that they're touring. I haven't been. I've never seen them live, but I know a lot of people love their music, and it's a lot of nostalgia. So I'm curious, to know if anybody has went and enjoyed the show. Don't know how much the tickets are, but I'm going to start a thread in the Airhead Nation Facebook group. If you guys have been and seen it, comment, let us know. The Outlaws, speaking of Tupac, the Outlaws, they released a new album titled One Nation, and the cool thing about that was Tupac was working on an album called One Nation, so it was pretty cool that they were able to put that out. Of course, they're cut from the cloth of Pac, from the group The Outlaws. This one's got a ton of tracks on it, a ton of awesome features. I'm about halfway through it. Solid album. Check it out. It actually dropped on 9/20 of 2021, so kind of close to the anniversary of Tupac's passing. This is pretty cool. Mongoose BMX. So we saw when Stranger Things came out, they had the connection with Mongoose, and that bike went into Targets. I think later on it even hit some Walmart locations, maybe Walmart.com. But they saw this huge success from it, whether it just be maybe a casual person that wanted to get one for their son or daughter, or a collector that was just like, hey, I got to have it. Then I can update it, put on some different mags, whatever. But Mongoose, the company that owns them, when we had Billy Weekly on, he talked a little bit about, back in the day working and putting together so many Mongoose bikes. And I think he was the one that had told me that this one company has bought up a lot of the bike companies, including Mongoose. And I think it might even be the same company that owns Schwinn. And they just want to be able to sell bikes and make money. That's the bottom line. But they announced on their Instagram the other day that they're going to put out a retro series. And I kind of feel like the 80s is truly back. This is a bike that, if I could get my hands on it, I'd probably buy one, depending on the price point. But to be able to see them connect to their heritage of, 83, 84, 85, those years, and have, the Pro Class style wheels and things like that, I think it's just a testament to the fact that we all love that era. It was such a great era. And Broy had commented on one of either a post I made or maybe it was a comment. And he said, hey, when I was on the podcast, Broy from Square Body Syndicate, he said, hey, that was what I was kind of hinting at, that something was coming. So if you go out and follow Mongoose, just type in Mongoose on Instagram, you'll see Mongoose Bikes. And the post was within the last week. It says, cue up your favorite cassette tape and don those acid wash jeans. The 80s are back with Mongoose Classics featuring the Super Goose and California Special. These legendary bikes will be ready to hit the dirt in October, late October. Click the link in the bio for more. So really good color choices. I mean, I'd love to get the chrome and blue one. It really has that feel, that same feel of the Rad bike. Rad Crew Jones rode an 85 Californian, and it's pretty awesome. There's almost 300 comments on this post. A lot of people said, I can't wait. Poor boy Steve, who I met at Hell Track, he's a great dude. I bought some stuff from him in the past. He commented and said, tell Duke I'm ready to ride, and talking about Duke Best from the movie Rad. Of course, I chimed in and had a little Rad reference, and I said, I heard that Duke is going to offer up $50,000 to the top rider. But, of course, if you are a fan of the movie Rad, you will know that little tie-in there. Some people said, hey, or they asked, is it going to be at Walmart? Mongoose said these beauties will exclusively be available via our official website. For exclusive product information, sign up for the newsletter at mongoose.com. Pretty cool stuff. I'm hoping it's good quality. Hopefully it's not, quote, a Walmart style bike, because we all know that, that's not our favorites. But from the looks of the pictures, I mean, they've done a good job with the retro styling. And whether it gets hung on a wall, set up in your shop, in the back of a mini truck, or ridden, it's pretty cool that they're bringing back the 80s. So kind of a awesome nod there to Mongoose. A new Karate Kid season. So I call it Karate Kid season. It's Cobra Kai series. You can follow at Cobra Kai series on Twitter. But there was an article that I had read on digitalspy.com. It says Cobra Kai Season 4, release date, cast, plot, and everything you need to know. And basically what it goes on to say is that there wasn't an official release date, but in December, I think, is when it's going to launch. So many of us of my age group, we love this series. I think it really just did a great job of tying back into the early to mid-'80s, Daniel LaRusso, and kind of that whole world of Karate Kid. So pretty cool stuff. If you haven't watched it and you are a Netflix subscriber, highly suggest that you go out there and check it out. Again, if you're a fan of the 80s, the nostalgia, there's a lot there, and they do a good job. Now, granted, I think some of us could look at it and go, yeah, it's kind of corny, some of the stuff, but if you're a fan of nostalgia, you just can't go wrong with it. The big homie, Ed Eister, he had sent over to me something that I didn't see because I'm not on Facebook too much. But Rad, we talked about it earlier. We talk about it all the time. Rad BMX is coming back to the movie, so I'll talk more about it probably in the coming weeks. But from what I saw, they're going to do a 35th kind of anniversary, and they're going to have it on the big screen, and you'll be able to find more information online. I think it's going to be in October, from what I saw. And Ed said, hey, maybe we should all get together. And I thought to myself, absolutely. In the Rad movie memorabilia and collectibles on Facebook, that awesome group, there's a link over to Fathom Events. And it says, in theaters, October 14th, Rad 35th anniversary. Tickets on sale now. You got to put your zip code in. I'm putting in 33558. This is the first time I'm looking. I hit enter. And it's going to be literally 15 minutes from my house. Can't wait. So definitely get out there if you love the 80s, man, as much as I do. Now, I really got to put a line in the sand. I mean, if Mike and Shannon don't go watch Rad, we're definitely going to have an issue. We're going to rip up his employee binder. So let's all encourage him. Dizzy, I don't know if you got to do a meme for this. I don't know, but we got to encourage Mike. I mean, listen, he doesn't have a hair on his ass if he doesn't get down and watch Rad and Crew Jones battle for Hell Track. All right, just a few more things. Mike talked about earlier that we're going to go to the next level with our website, so ourlifestylepodcast.com. We have uploaded the mini Truckin. It's in our DNA, so all of those remaining shirt numbers, hoodies, tanks, stickers, banners, those are on the site. They're live. So if you want to get out there and you want to secure maybe a hoodie, tank top, so on and so forth, go do that. You're going to see after the presale ends, which it has ended, a lot of those choices are not going to be there because we don't stock, 4X shirts and things like that. Occasionally we'll order a 5X. We'll do a couple of talls here and there based upon what we hear at shows. But, if we order 5, XL talls and those sell and the 6th person comes and is like, oh, you should order more, we can only order so many of so many. But I can tell you this, we order a lot, and that's all because of you guys supporting our pre-sale. So that really helps us, and we certainly appreciate that. OurLifestylePodcast.com. Mike mentioned earlier, we got the aluminum signs. That's how the guy said it on Wheeler Dealers. The aluminum signs are going to be on there, the smaller ones. We're also going to have skate decks on there. So we're trying to keep that price point fair, including the shipping. We're not a big business, so we can't really always wipe away the shipping, but we're going to have those different options at our lifestylepodcast.com. And then in closing, just the On to Rise media. So what we're going to do, and I guess you could kind of say it's following in the footsteps of what Ronnie's done over with Truck Talk Media. Certainly love that guy, man. Got a chance at C10 Intervention to have dinner with him, and he's got upwards of 6, 7, 8 different podcasts now under that Truck Talk Media brand. Of course, it started with C10 Talk, and it's branched to OBS and F100 and Bronco, and just so many different other brands, right? He could really take it as far as he wants, but we are officially under On to Rise Media, which I think you guys will love. And we're working on some new stuff, some new content, right, that'll help branch out underneath that brand. And I'm officially going to bring in Lincoln Addict Podcast underneath that brand. So really not as a lot's going to change from the outside, except for whatever we bring in that's new under the umbrella. But I just wanted everyone to kind of know that we're going to keep growing as much as we can. We're definitely inspired by people like Ronnie Wetch and so many other people out there. Including a lot of the other podcasters that have kind of come on from our scene, and then also the content creators that I alluded to earlier in the podcast where we talked about Brian Good from Grindr and all of these different brands. So, again, On to Rise, that's what we're going to stay, and we're going to keep the pedal stomped into the new year and beyond. But just continue to stay posted to our social media. If you get a chance on Instagram, you can tap on our bio. You can select the little drop-down arrow, and you can turn on post notifications, right? So that's going to make sure that if we post new content or when we post new content, you do not miss out. So we certainly appreciate all the support. The last thing I'll say is Forbidden Fantasy. So I talked to Brian a little bit earlier, and he reminded me, I think it's this coming weekend, is their new show. And we're certainly excited for those guys. I know they have been through a lot, especially as the country has with this whole pandemic and things getting canceled and things like that. But this event is the Laughlin Auto Mixer. So it says in their Instagram bio, join us for our first car and truck show at Laughlin River Lodge in Laughlin, Nevada. And there's an event link there in their bio. September 26th is the cutoff date for pre-reg, and there's a lot more information, but it's on Laughlin Auto Mixer. So, hopefully you guys appreciate all the content that we bring to you. Please leave a rating via your favorite podcast app. Really, primary is going to be Apple Podcasts, right? That's where everything kind of comes in. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating. Check us out on YouTube. Just dropped a new video, kind of a short one, doing an unbagging of some new Hammered Weekend Wear content. Awesome merch. So super excited about that. And I would just remind you, HAMMERD, weekendwear.com. You can order that merch, as I mentioned in the video. It means a lot to us. You guys often support us with our merch, if you can, with all of our fine friends and sponsors. Go out there and show them some love as well. So a little bit shorter of an episode this week. Please follow and or subscribe to our Lifestyle Podcast. Keep the pedal stomped. Stay safe. And we will hit you next week. We're working on a great episode. This one's going to be awesome next week, but we're going to wrap up now. Episode 255, Johnny 5, right? Mike got that one earlier. I couldn't believe it. Johnny 5 is on the rise. So, 255, we out ya. Peace.